Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi, my name is Kistina Sofia binti Sabab and you can call me Kistina. First of all, praise be to Allah. Due to His blessings, I am able to make this video and spread some knowledge with all of you. Thank you so much to those who have clicked on this video, and I really hope that this video is beneficial for all of you. So my topic today is the effects of victim blaming towards the victims. Before we start, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been the victim of a crime or in any situation? Okay, let me give you an example. Imagine that last night your house just being robbed by the robbery. So, of course, today you want to make a police report, right? Then imagine that one of your neighbors come to you, approach to you and ask you a question. Did you forget to lock your house last night? Okay, so this is what we call a scenario of victim blaming. Believe it or not, it is one of the common phenomena that happen in our society. Sometimes we are the ones who do this, blame the victim. So here I am to reveal that this kind of reaction indeed is not a helpful reaction. So inshallah, for my speech today, based on my research and study, I will provide you authentic and true information only. Before we go to the effects, I want to explain a little bit about the social issue and the definition of victim blaming. Okay, so the social issue that happens nowadays that makes me want to come out with this topic is many sexual assault and sexual harassment victims tends to be blamed when something bad happens to them, especially the teenagers. So at this context, I can say that victim blaming is highly related with rape culture, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and so on. So in this speech, I want to focus on the effects on teenagers as the victims of sexual harassment and so on. What is victim blaming? Victim blaming happens when the victim of a crime or any wrongful act is held entirely or partially at fault for the harm that happens to them. Or I can say that victim blaming happens when people blame the victims instead of blame the offenses one. So now let's we go to the effects of victim blaming towards the victim. The first effect is the victims feel it is hard for them to come forward and report the assault. When this happens, fewer crimes get reported and fewer predators get prosecuted. It allows the offenses or the predators to avoid being held accountable for their actions. There is one statistic based on the criminal justice system. Only 310 out of 1,000 sexual assaults are reported to the police. It means that more than 2 out of 3 go unreported. From Canadian Resource Centre for Victims of Crime, victims who receive negative response, such as victim blaming, they tend to experience greater distress and are less likely to report future abuse. So it is clear that they feel scared to come forward when they experience victim blaming. The second and the last effects of victim blaming is it leads to a bad mental health. Victim blaming makes the victims stress and depression because of the pain that they hold alone, as nobody wants to listen, instead of judging the victim mentally and physically. Other than that, toxic self-blame make them constantly blame themselves for the misfortune that happened to them. According to American Medical Association, common reasons for individuals not reporting crime included fear of not being believed and insecurity. Because of their insecurity and the fear of the world's opinion towards them, they are likely hold the responsibilities without noticing that they are damaging their inner and mental health. Believe it or not, we are now at the end of my speech. Once again, I want to state that victim blaming is not right. Maybe it has already become a common phenomenon, but I believe that we can change it by spreading awareness and education. Rather than blaming the victim, we should come out with a solution to help them and find justice. We should not let teenagers suffer because of victim blaming. So before I end my speech, I would like to state one quote from Aristotle Onassis, that is, "It is during our darkest moments that we must focus on the light. Do not give up and help each other to be happy. Happiness is only real when we share it." That's all for me. Thank you so much.